Okay, as y'all probably know, Israel has declared war. There were over 2,000 rockets that were fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel before Israel said we're in war. And it has, from what I have read and heard, it is really bad. There are a lot of terrible things happening, mostly around the Gaza Strip. Also, rockets are being fired into populated cities, especially Tel Aviv, some into Jerusalem. Um, People are being kidnapped, murdered, injured, all the things. It's really really bad, and Israel could definitely use our prayers. From what I've been told by the leaders on our base here is that Israel was largely relying on their security technology around the Gaza Strip area, and there were lots of failures on lots of sides. So like they did not think that this type of thing could or would happen. Um, yeah, so the security things that they had in place have failed, which is a big part of why it's been so disastrous. Um, Something else that we can do is to contact our state and federal representatives and just let them know that we would love for them to support Israel. And that actually makes a huge difference. So please do that. In terms of where I'm at, so my phone's been exploding. People are like, are you okay? What's going on? So I'm out in the Judea, Samaria area, which is otherwise known as the West Bank, and the population's not as large out here. And also, we are completely surrounded by Arabs. So rockets have not been coming in our direction. Last night, and yesterday, I was periodically hearing a lot of gunfire. And this morning, I asked our security team here about that, and they said it's mostly probably Arabs in the surrounding villages shooting guns into the air out of excitement for what's happening down in the Gaza Strip area. So it sounds like there has not yet been any direct conflict between the reserve soldiers that we have monitoring, securing the mountain that we're on, and the Arabs below us. But I don't think this is an exaggeration. I believe the mountain that we're on is surrounded by hundreds of thousands of Arabs, and I've learned while being here that the what's it called? The Palestinian Authority actually pays Arabs and their families if they kill Jewish people and attack Jewish people. So the Palestinian Authority is, from my understanding, very much encouraging terrorism amongst the Arab people in these surrounding towns, and then also Hamas with starting this war from the Gaza Strip is encouraging Arabs in the West Bank to rise up and attack settlements. So as of right now, the settlement that I'm in has been peaceful. There have been settlements that have had terrorist attacks and injuries and deaths and kidnapping. I like the base here is actually it really is a haven of peace. I have not felt afraid or nervous at all yet, anyway. And also, we see throughout scriptures and even throughout history that when Israel is crying out to the Lord, he fights their battles. I think the problem comes in when we're relying on our own strength and think that we can do it ourselves. So I'm really praying that the Israeli nation, all the Israelis, the Israeli government will cry out to the Lord and ask him for help and to be their strength and their strong tower. And just as I've been learning throughout my time here, we've talked to people that fought in the various wars that Israel has been in since they became a nation in, I think it was 1947, and just the miracles that have happened. And so we've talked to firsthand witnesses of those miracles. Yeah, just lots and lots of amazing stories. Obviously, people are still dying and getting injured and those things, even in those wars. And at the same time, I've also learned while being here that military schools don't even study the Six-Day War because they don't study miracles. So anyway, so it is, I feel very safe actually, even though there are horrible things happening. And I'm hopeful that God will be fighting on behalf of Israel and, just performing lots of miracles, and that Israel will actually take back a lot of the land that they've given away after those wars that God fought for them in the past. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So anyway, here in the Judea, Samaria, aka West Bank area, on the mountain that I am currently on, things have been peaceful. Yeah, so I hope and plan to interview some of the guys that are in charge of security on the base here so that we can get more of an update of really like the intel of what's happening. Hopefully that'll happen. I'll be able to get their attention. So 24/7 right now. The military reserve has been on duty, and then also our own security team has also been on duty, and so they have bulletproof vests, and they've been staying up and keeping watch. Yeah, so please pray for us. Please pray for Israel. I forget if I mentioned this, but the roads are actually closed currently. And so we are actually kind of stuck on this mountain. So even if the roads were open, the only way for us to get off this mountain is to go through Arab towns and where there have been terrorist attacks recently. Normally we've been traveling around in armored buses, so bulletproof and bomb-proof buses, but when there's a war, those buses are used for military, obviously. I mean, understandably. So a lot of us have our flights leaving on Tuesday. We'll see if the airports are still open and if we can even get to the airport. Yeah, so a lot is still to be seen, but please keep Israel in your prayers, keep us in your prayers, and contact your state and federal representatives and let them know that you would like Israel to be supported. All right, stay tuned.